What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Ripple Effect with Soria. I'm your host, Armando, and with me today I have my good friend, Cedric Johnson. What's up, Cedric?
Oh, man. It is a good morning today. This is surreal. Never did I ever think we would be on a podcast together. This is insane.
Not just that, but we happen to be in the wonderful Mag One Media.
Beautiful setup here, man. I'm so grateful to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, welcome, man. It's you're right. It's been a crazy journey, bro. So for those, first off, I've known Cedric now for a couple years, I think, or
just about, yeah.
But for those of us who may not know you and your business, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Man, this is interesting because it's almost like we're just talking as boys.
It should be.
Every morning, so we're going to run out of things to talk about really quick, I think. But yeah, my name is Cedric Johnson. Where do I start? I'm a father of four. I run a 24/7 plumbing company here. It's called After Hour Plumbing and Drain. And depending on who you talk to, they might argue that we are the best 24/7 emergency plumbing company here in Monterey.
Very nice.
And I would second that. And all my employees believe that too. And that's a great thing to have as a part of your culture. But,
absolutely.
I touched on being a father. I'm going through some personal things right now. And I'm really on this growth mindset, this gratitude journey, trying to level up and grow every way that I can. And that's pretty much what led me to be right in front of you.
That's
right
awesome.
Now.
That's a good place to be. A little bit about your the plumbing company. How did you get into plumbing?
That's so funny, man. Nobody ever sets out to be a plumber. That's never the dream when they're a kid, right? I actually started out endeavoring to be a firefighter, much like yourself. For those of you who don't know.
Yeah, that's another story. No, we'll go ahead.
That was one of the things that allowed us to click right off the bat, which was really cool.
Yeah.
In the midst of all that schooling, firefighting, I learned very quickly that construction was heavily involved, and I knew nothing about construction.
Same.
Yeah. So my dad had this plumbing business in the Bay Area, and he had been trying to get me to work for him for so long. So I finally bit the bullet and went to go work for him. And through that, I figured out that I had a love for plumbing.
Very nice.
Especially in the service and repair. Every day is different. Everything is new. We're touching different people every single day. And the beauty behind that was really what caught me, and I couldn't let it go.
Awesome.
But I didn't want to start a business. I saw how my dad was stressed out. I saw that he was always working. It's a 24-hour gig.
Yeah.
It's really stressful. I also saw the way that him and I are sort of different. Mm-hmm. And he's more of the penny saver, and I'm more of an investor. I like to push the bar. I want to change the game. I don't want to be a regular plumber. I don't want to be a fix-it plumber. We're solution plumbers. We want to diagnose the entire issue so that we can understand what it is that you need so that you don't keep having to endure the stress of a water leak or a sewer backup or whatever the situation might be. And I feel like when you go to the customer with that, they appreciate.
Absolutely. Right? That right there is a service plumber. You know what I mean? That's awesome. That's awesome. The solution,
Solution plumbing.
You're going to put me out of business.
No, we work well together, man. When you introduce that to your team, the mind shifts.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we're not just handyman with a toilet auger.
Yeah.
We're professionals. Mm-hmm. We build, right? And we love the way we build. We post it online. Mm-hmm. It's art to us. We take pride in what we do. We're trying to change the game. When you think of a plumber, you usually don't think of my team and me. And so when we show up, people are surprised. They're almost taken back. Yeah. And that's the goal.
Yeah. And that's awesome, man. And there's a lot there with that because as you know, we do property damage restoration. So we're coming out to homes after there's been a leak, after there's been a flood, things like that. Whenever something happens with water. And in that, one of our key markets or referral sources is actually plumbers, right? Mm-hmm. Makes sense because you guys deal with leaks and water intrusion, and we come out and take care of that. So with that being said, early on about almost 2 years ago, when I started wanting to get out and work on marketing and whatnot, I knew I wanted to align myself with more than just a referral partner, but I wanted to team up with local companies and send work back and forth and do all that, the normal marketing thing. But when I went online and I searched plumbers in my area, or started kind of going down that path of finding who's around, you guys stood out from the jump. I mean, immediately when I saw your Google pages, not only all the hundreds of reviews that you guys have, you know what I mean, which is incredible. I'm at 33, and I'm pretty I'm pretty happy with my 33 reviews.
Hey man, that takes some work.
It does. But you don't necessarily see that all the time. You see it with like the quicks, not to downplay home services, but you see that with like carpet cleaners and things like that. But with tradesmen, it's a little bit different. You don't see that much attention to those type of things, at least not in our market. And so as I'm looking through your website, I mean, you look like a franchise. You look like this, I was almost intimidated to reach out because you guys look like the real deal, man. Your colors pop. I see your photos and it's all professionally done, well done. And it speaks volumes of your pride in the company. And like you said, when you show up, people aren't expecting all that, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when it came to all that, obviously it's intentional.
Yeah. You know what? I'm a perfectionist, and I think you and I, we have a lot in common. I got to stop saying that. But you and I are cut from the same cloth. And
yeah, we're twins.
I mean, look at your embroidered polo. I mean, you got the same thing. You know what I mean?
Stitches, yeah.
We just, like you said, we take pride in what we do. And average is not for me. It's not for my team. It's not for my family. If there's a way to grow and be better, I'm going to find it.
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied with where I am. Being stagnant isn't an option. And with that mindset, I mean, sky's the limit.
Yeah. And it's funny you touch on that, right? So I reached out, like I was talking about. I got Taylor on the phone. Shout out to Taylor.
Oh, shout out to Taylor. She's the best to answer the phone. Just give her a call just to hear her voice.
Really, if I'm in a bad mood, I'll just pick up the phone just to say hi, just because she'll bring me back up.
Oh yeah.
So I reached out, introduced myself, and at the time I reached out because I needed help on a project we were working. There was an issue with the supply line, and I needed a plumber to come out and rescue us because we needed to take away this vanity, and there was no other way because it was like there was like a shark bite that was pressed at the disconnection, and so I had to cut it. So I had the water off. I cut the line, and they wanted to turn their water back on. I said, well, you're going to have to wait a while, right? So, of course, I think it was Jeremiah came out, and he got it taken care of, and everything was great. And then that was my introduction to Taylor and to you guys, and I wanted to build this relationship because I'm like, man, this is a company. How long you been in business now, Cedric? After
6 years.
6 years. You're in year 6. And at the time that was 2 years ago. So I was in like month 9 or something when I reached out.
Insane.
And so I was very, very much looking, I've got low key. I think I was really looking for mentorship. Right. And so I was like, man, these guys are branded. These guys are looking good. I want that, right? Especially because I came from my background in terms of our business is or industry. I came from a franchise system, and so being out on your own as an independent, we call it, not part of a corporation. You're starting from the ground up. You're creating this brand out of nothingness, and you have to have this, you have to go through the creation and creativity of brand awareness and so forth and so on, from logos to color schemes and so forth and so on. But anyway, so I seen that with you, and I was like, oh man, these guys are it. I can't wait to, at the time I had 1 employee, maybe 2. And I was looking at your company pictures, and I was like, man, I want bios like that on my website. I want a team like that, and take a picture on the wharf, like, how you guys had it and all that. And so I was really interested in you guys. And so we came out, we did a plumber's breakfast. We came out, we fed you guys and got to know you guys a little bit. And then we started developing this relationship. But it was funny because I still didn't know you as a person. We were just kind of just getting to know each other.
There's some stuff there, but go ahead. Sorry, I messed you up.
No, it's good. It's funny because we talk about every day, just about every day. We're on the phone for at least 20 minutes before you cut me off.
30 minutes.
So we it was funny because, and it's really interesting. I wanted to thank you for the good work we've done together and that kind of thing. So I invited you out to the PGA. Remember that?
Oh man,
or
that
the
was a good time.
Pro-Am.
That was my first time ever doing an event like that. So,
really?
Man, thank you. Many thanks to you.
It was awesome. So that was the start, right? And it was really funny because we were kind of awkward, We're both kind of quiet, like
breaking the ice.
And I brought this up yesterday that I said I was going to bring it up, but it was kind of funny because there was this awkwardness in the car, and you looked over and on our way there, and you said, "You read any good books lately?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." I tripped out because during that time, that was when I was discovering the world of personal development, super new to it, but talked about it on the first episode. And it was really funny because, you were asking me about a book, and I had just finished reading Grant Cardone's 10X Rule.
Right.
And if I recall, you had mentioned that, oh, really? Oh, I was just at one of his boot camps or went
That's
to
right.
Yeah. And then what came from there was you opened up Pandora's box and started telling, oh, have you heard this podcast? Have you touched on that? And so obviously you've been involved, or you've been consuming content that's been part of the personal development space. How did you get into that?
Man, that's a great question. I think I've always been interested in that. The idea of mental fortitude and growth was ingrained in me as a young child from my dad. I mean, my dad used to lift weights, and it was pretty extreme. I mean, in our living room, we didn't have a couch. He had a weight bench, it was cold. There was iron on the ground, barbells, dumbbells. And so from a very early age, I learned how to build the mind up to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And my dad has accolades. We don't need to go over them right now, but I mean, he does have his own plumbing business,
right.
As you know. But being in that space, it's a lifestyle. So it never stops. And I'm sure you know that now. We call it the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You just never stop falling, right? There's always potential for growth.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you could attest to this in weightlifting and so forth and so on. It forces you to develop discipline.
Oh yeah, man.
Overcome adversity, injuries, or just push into that next rep, so forth and so on. So I could see how that if your father was setting that, that tone in the household, how that could have impacted that. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that, man. That's cool.
Self-imposed trials and tribulations, right? There's something to be said about that, because when the world throws something at you, you sort of have to react. But when you pace yourself every day, you set yourself in front of these obstacles and you have to overcome them, sort of like the daily routine that we do every day, right? We're priming ourselves to get ready for the day. We're giving ourselves the tools.
That's it. And it's so funny. So that was how we started. That's when we broke the egg and started making some omelets, right?
Yeah,
that's
man.
when we started talking, and we're like, oh, there's a little bit more to this than just our niches and just talking about work, right? There was this deeper level, and at the time I really was, not only was I craving the branding and all that kind of stuff, right? Getting kind of that sort of mentorship, but then also came this whole personal development thing, and it just really trips me out when I think about it and see how far we both grown. And obviously we're still on that path and journey, but that's how it started, man.
Yeah, you were very intentional right away with not starting a business relationship and starting a friendship. And that's what made this whole thing really easy. Although it was organically a little on the slower end, because it really took about a year for us to really hit it off. I feel like now, like you said, we're so tight. We talk every day,
right.
For multiple minutes. It's almost part of my morning routine now. Just right when I wake up or close to it, just giving Armando a call, seeing what's up.
Get my call in real quick. Yeah, man. That's cool. And so to that point, that is something that we could talk a little bit about, and that I wanted to touch on with you is, this relationship happened because it was networking, but there was authenticity behind it, right? And so with that being said, I've seen you in, we've gone to events, we've met people here locally and beyond, but how do you approach your networking, and how do you approach marketing your business and things like that?
I can do a better job at that. I'm going to be honest. But my biggest influence, and you don't know this, my biggest influence when it comes to networking and marketing is actually you. I had never seen somebody do it the way you do it. And you set out to build something with me and learn from me, but it's important that man, I learn from you.
Goosebumps.
I'm just being honest, man.
That's cool, man. I remember when we had a breakfast once, and you wrote me a handwritten note and gave me a bottle of bourbon. You know, the key to my heart.
Shoot. He's a bourbon guy.
But no, I remember actually, now that you mentioned that, I remember you reading that, and that's cool, man. That means a lot. And that's just it, right? It's, you never know where a relationship's going to take you, but you know, I don't know. You just kind of know. I don't know.
Yeah, you disassociate from the outcome. You let it be fluid and organic. And man, then when things bear fruit, you can look back and say, wow, like that was supposed to happen.
Yeah. No, that's it, man. And a lot of, you know, it's just funny. I keep going back to personal development because, you know, I know that we're both in the midst of our growth and continued growth. And it's just funny. We've gone to, we've gone to a couple, Arete events. We've traveled and gone to go see some David Goggins speak and Andy and Ed speak, and it seems like every time we've gone, we've come back with a
blueprint, man.
Yeah,
a different trajectory. Yeah, for sure.
Talk to me a little bit about your morning routine.
So my morning routine was gifted to me. I personalized it just slightly, but you and I both share a voice coach, Matthew Bertho. So he was the one who sent me the guideline for my morning routine. It starts off, well, the way I started off is with a prayer. And I thank God for all the things that I have that I got with money, right? And then I transition into all the things that I have that have nothing to do with money, relationships, you know, friendships, just waking up with a chance and a choice, waking up with the breath of life to be able to be great. You know, and then after that, we go into meditation, and I start meditating about some of the things that I want to do in life, the things that I don't have yet, but I know that are in store for me. I do priming, where I think about, oh, geez, I get emotional sometimes, man.
It's a deep conversation, man.
I think about some of my happiest moments in life, and obviously, it's all revolving around my kids.
Yeah.
And I can get out of this. Give me a second. Got some waterworks I got stuff down. But yeah, so those revolve around my kids, but then also it revolves around my business. And I'm deeply passionate about my business, and I have big goals and big dreams. Yeah. And for every employee that works for me, I speak it out into reality, what I want for them and what I want for their families. Yeah. You know, there's something special about what we do as business owners and entrepreneurs, where we have a team, and that team is family, and then their family is family. And so being able to provide for those people and feed them, put food on the table, housing. I mean, when I go to the grocery store and I'm able just to buy food, a fundamental necessity for life, I get emotional because as a kid, I didn't have that. I could never ask my mom for anything on the shelf because I knew she couldn't provide it for me. And so I have this deep gratitude for the ability to facilitate this for other people. Yeah. And that's part of my morning routine, right? It's all centered around gratitude. I was gonna say gravity. It's all centered around gratitude. Yep. Following that, I do a cold shower. I'm in the cold shower about 8 minutes every day, bro.
8 minutes?
8 minutes.
Yeah, man. I'm at a 1 minute mark right now, and I'm pretty proud of it.
If you can get past a minute and 45, it just feels kosher. Yeah, you're good.
What does that do for you, the cold shower?
Oh man,
it clears the mind.
Yeah, clears the mind. I will never stop taking cold showers. That's how impactful it is. Sometimes I take 2 a day. A lot of people doubted that I'd be able to do it consistently forever. It's just one of those things, like brushing your teeth. Yeah, I'm not going to walk out the house without brushing my teeth.
A non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. The way it sets your mind up for the day, the clarity. There's health benefits, obviously, right? Especially if you're an active person, getting your body to cool down and then warm up. There's thermogenic weight loss benefits, but really it's all mental for me. Yeah. And when I'm in the shower, I'll say my affirmations. Yeah. I'll verbally state. Sometimes I'll yell it out. I'll sing it out. Yeah. All the things that I want to be today. Everything I want to show up with. I want to be whole. I want to be present. I want to love. I want to be a light. You know, I'm a father. I'm a giver. I'm a provider, a leader. All these things that I know I need to jumpstart my day to show up to be the best me. I say those in the shower.
Talk about a prime, right? Man. Yeah, that's good, man. That's really good. And as you know, going through my morning routine as well, and just hearing it out loud, because sometimes we don't vocalize that, right? We don't vocalize it. We talk about it to ourselves, and it stays within our shower walls, right? But it's pretty crazy hearing it out loud. I mean, yeah, dude, you start your day like that. Yeah, there's nothing you can't overcome.
I'm more efficient and I'm more present, and my team can feel that. Sometimes we do some of my morning routine with the team. Yeah. I get them doing the Wim Hof breathing method.
Really?
Yeah. Nice. Every once in a while we'll do it, and we keep track of it on the whiteboard, seeing who can hold their breath the longest. Nice. It's funny.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that once we got to that point in the conversation, was one thing that I also admire about you is your commitment to mentor your team. Right, because I think that's so important. That we could get into it in a minute, but that's when things changed in my business, right? And it was when that intention, when the selflessness came up with, it's no longer about me getting a job so I could, get a paycheck for myself, kind of thing, right? It was when I hired and took the responsibility for others and wanted to make sure that you said it, when they could provide for their families and so forth and so on, right? And so that's something that I continue to work on with my team. But we talk about the things you do, and you just touched on some of it. But let's go into your mentorship of your team, your leadership of the team.
It's really easy for me, man. I think a lot of people have trouble, they say, finding quality technicians and quality personnel. I didn't have that, not at all. And call it God's plan. But I mean, some of the people that work for me, I've known for many years. My personal assistant, Taylor, I've known her over 15 years. Tyler's actually my brother-in-law. He happens to be my lead technician and the guy behind most of our reels on Instagram, because the guy's nice. New labor, we hired Jay. I've known him for 10 years. He was my best friend just after high school. Then another guy, Ivan, he was my best friend in middle school. So it's just, we have this dynamic that can't be duplicated.
Yeah, it's a family affair, but
that's what it is, and that's tough sometimes.
Yeah,
but when you have that respect, right, and they know that you're sort of leading them into success, because the truth is, I'm paying them more than they thought they ever would make, and that's something I pride myself in. Yeah, like, I take care of my people. For a long time, they were making more money than me. It wasn't until maybe this year. Where that
year 6,
where I started to pay myself a little bit more, but the potential is there for them to still make as much money as me or more,
right?
And that's why I take mentorship so seriously, and we have these morning meetings every day so that we can really drill down into how to show up to be your best you, how to execute and provide value for the customer. We talk about it every day.
So you go beyond skills, right? Beyond the technical skills, the technical side. Your morning meetings don't consist of just how to, repair how to do a sewer lateral or how to do this and that. It's
almost never technical. It's all about the heart. Yeah, honestly, heart and character.
Man,
and my team, they're going to be with me till, the wheels fall off. They will never work for anyone else. It doesn't matter how much they're being offered. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And one guy almost went to you. I remember that. And he was one of the newer guys.
Well, he sees what we're doing out here.
But we've poured into him so much.
Yeah.
He would never.
Yeah.
Because I got him.
Yeah.
Everyone in my team knows that I got them.
Yeah, that's that right there, company culture, right? That culture is you feel that. You feel that too when you meet the guys. The level of, I'll use the word loyalty, but it's more than that. It's love. It's trust. They know that they're being taken care of. They're happy to be there. They look, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for my team. I include them in my gratitude every morning. I include you in my gratitude every morning.
You're in mine too,
Matt,
buddy.
Jamie.
Yeah,
3 core people, man, that I just lean on every day almost.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. I would imagine. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just need to, kind of figure myself out on some of this stuff. But it just I just think about the fact that it is family, and you know these people for as long as you've known them, and these I say these people, they're my friends as well. The crew, the AHPD family,
AHPD
right?
boys and girl.
And it's just interesting, like when you work that close or know someone that closely. Honestly, I just kind of solved it. It really says a lot about you that you have this relationship with them, but they, beyond the personal relationship, they're open to your leadership, and that says a lot about your leadership. Because when you work with family, like if I work with my brothers or cousins, something like that, it'd be hard to kind of take that role and guide them to where you want to go. It just seems like you're just doing a good job with them.
It's interesting that you say that, because I hadn't really put much thought to that before. But if I was to say where that originated from, it would have to be from the broken family that I come from. There was always dysfunction. There was always a toxic atmosphere, and you can't thrive in that environment. And when you go through something like that, and then you have the opportunity to lead individuals, instead of going this way, we can go this way.
What not to do, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a life lesson. A lot of us don't know exactly where we're going, but we know what we don't want.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way to figure out any situation.
That's absolutely true. Yeah. Ooh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's good, man. So
trying not to get too deep here, bro. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it surface level.
No, this is good, man. Because, oh, man, I don't want to go there.
Shoot!
I'm just saying, man. It's funny, and it's really cool because again, we've grown so much over the last couple years, and it's just funny hearing you speak the way you're speaking, because this is how I've always seen you. You know what I mean? This is how we know each other, and it's so funny because I know, like, we're also on the part of the Rotary here. We're part of the Alisal Rotary.
Shout out Alisal Rotary.
Yeah, I sponsored Cedric and I brought him out, and but even before that, we've done other things, and we've gone to like chamber events and things like that where you've been, when you had the floor sort of thing, you're going to introduce yourself or speak in front of people, and you've met people, friends, and so forth and so on. We just, we're public, we got to be out there doing our thing for our brand awareness and build relationships, all that kind of stuff. And it's funny because, you when, 2 years ago, it was hard. It was hard for me to kind of understand this part of you, was that you are an introvert.
I am.
And, so for those of you who are watching on YouTube, look at this fine specimen.
No,
right? Bro. Right? I'm flexing here, you know what I mean? But it was funny. It just it would throw people off because they're like, whoa, you're charismatic, you speak well, but you're an introvert. You're shy, And, and I'd always kind of scratch my head at that because I've gotten to know you, over time. And when I'd go out, I'm like, come on, man. Like, why are you being shy? Or people would say, like, he's kind of quiet. I was like, no, he's an introvert.
Yeah, it's tough, man. A lot of people have me confused by that. I mean, naturally, I'm a happy guy. Yeah. I do like to be happy. I choose happiness over any of the opposing emotions all day, every day. But it is hard for me in group settings. This is easy. Yeah. This is one-on-one. I can shine in a one-on-one, but in groups, that's where I sort of fizzle out a bit. But I have watched you at these events, and that's another reason, another way I've been grabbing your coattails, seeing you work the room because you're great, and that's why you're the host right now, and I'm on the other side. I'm your guest.
just the cards laid where they lay, bro. I'm just picking up the pieces.
But I'm working on my confidence. I'm unpacking a lot of emotions. I know you and I are both on an emotional journey right now. Yeah,
and that's it, man. It doesn't matter, the exterior doesn't matter, man. You just never know. You just never know, what someone's dealing with or what someone's up to or where they're at in their own growth and journey. Because, I mean, from the outside looking in, it's like, why would this guy be shy? You know what I mean? Why would he, business owner, doing your thing, leader, but still dealing with your, your emotional side, the soft side, kind of getting it all worked out. And that right there, it just goes to show, man, the work's never done.
Never done. I mean, I'm a mushy guy at heart, but I guess I got some walls up. I got to make sure that I don't have that resting face that that makes me unapproachable. I don't know, but I really do gravitate towards people.
Yeah.
But I do have to watch my energy. I'm being aware of my energy levels now, because I want to be the kind of guy that can really pour into people.
Yeah.
And I find that in a group setting that's hard to do, but one-on-one,
it's a lot easier. Yeah, a lot easier.
Trying to be a light, bro. That's what I want. I want to walk in a room and people can feel me. I want them to know who I am. I know you express something very similar. So we're very closely tied on our journey. Absolutely.
Yeah, and working towards it. But I can say that from where we, from 2 years ago to now, seeing you walk into a meeting, today versus walking into a conference room 2 years ago, you shining, bro.
Am I?
I see you.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know if I was going to make it to this podcast today. I was in my head like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Yeah. Worst comes to worst, he'll scrap it and we can try to redo it. But the thing is, I knew that there was growth here. I had never done anything like this. Never.
With that voice?
Yeah,
Come
man,
on.
Never, bro. Never. Even getting in front of people and just saying a little bit about what I do, I get nervous. There's always nerves, I think, but what I told myself is, and Matt helped me with this. He said, Cedric, be you. Be present and shine your light, bro. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I know that whatever comes on the other side of this it's meant for me. I'm supposed to grow through this process because I'm in a cocoon right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think you're a little further along than that.
No, I'm in a cocoon, bro. I want to see what I turn into. I want that butterfly with wings.
Yeah, man, the flutter, bro. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. Look, dude, I'm happy that you came and graced us with your presence today, and I'm glad that we were able to kind of share this experience. It's just another notch, I guess you could say, in our friendship. And I see you, man. I see the work that you're putting in. I see your mentorship. I see your leadership, and it still continues to motivate me. And I don't think it will, man. And this is why the associations that we surround ourselves with, like, this is my team, right? The people I have the privilege of calling friends, we're always. It's kind of funny. It's not so much a keeping up with the Jones thing, but it always seems like we're just kind of chasing each other, chasing that growth and chasing that development in a healthy way. And yeah, man, some of the stuff that we get into, it's just hard to do with people that aren't in it.
They don't understand it. Yeah, it's unfortunate sometimes, but that's why we're so close, bro. I mean,
that's it.
There's so much more work to do. What's next for you?
Oh man, I'm obviously business wise, we're continuing to grow. We're doing our thing, and we've come a long way. And I say that with a lot of pride from where we were when we first met. And we're continuing to grow. We're adding vehicles. We're adding personnel, and I have a belly in the fire, or fire in the belly rather, of continuing this growth professionally. But it's funny because I have, over the last year and a half or whatever it's been with the personal development journey, know how connected that this business growth is completely tied to the personal growth, right? And as long as we continue to dive into these these different, I call it the sets, right? And I don't call it that. Robin Sharma calls it that. Right? Yeah. But we worked on, we as in me, but I've been working on the mindset, and going through 75 hard was a great experience for me on that type of growth. The health set, I got some work to do, but we're working through it. And that would, again, that was 75 hard. I'm shouting it out because it was a good program for those two elements. But you realize that that's not the end all, right? It's not about completing it's not about the end date. It's about the lifelong journey, right? So as Robin Sharma says, the health set, the mindset. But now it's funny because I'm now evolving into the soul set, evolving into the heart set, right? And what's next for me, I'm just hopefully to continue to evolve and become the best version of myself and try to bring my circle along for the ride.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where the magic is.
Yeah, thanks for asking, bro.
Yeah. I knew if I came on here, I had to ask you something about you. I hope I didn't throw it off.
No, you're good, man.
No, you're good. You just take anything and roll with it, bro. I'm learning from you every day.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Well, again, dude, I just want to thank you for jumping on. How could people find you? How could people get in contact with you?
Yeah, our Instagram is After Hour Plumbing Inc. Our website is a super long one. It's After Hour Plumbing MontereyCA.com.
Monterey, CA, after hour, and there's no S after hours.
There's no S.
It's after
it's singular.
Hour.
It's
singular. There it is, singular. Well, awesome, man. You want to close it out with anything, bro?
I'm just super grateful to be here, man. I think this was super easy flowing. We definitely got to do it again. We'll to get some more guests up here, maybe Pillar to Post, David Casavan, some other good names, and we'll chat it up, have a roundabout table discussion.
Awesome, bud. Well, I appreciate you, man. I'm grateful for you, and let's just keep on growing.
Man, that's awesome. I'm grateful for you too, bro.
Appreciate you, bud.